This is the weekly update for China-related news in the low-altitude economy space. We start with a regulatory topic this time because this is really what drives economic development in China, especially when it's this high level of national authority speaking. The NDRC, the National Development and Reform Commission, stresses the importance of security in China's low-altitude economy.
但是呢，也要看到低空飞行的风险隐患依然不容忽视。
At its May 20 press conference, the National Development and Reform Commission (NDRC) emphasized that safety is the top priority in developing China's low-altitude economy. Spokesperson Li Chao highlighted the government's structural approach to expanding low-altitude applications like tourism, air sports, and drones under the principles of cargo before passengers, segregation before integration, and outskirts before urban centers. The NDRC will enforce strict safety oversight, support pilot programs, and crack down on unauthorized flights, which refers to activities such as flying without a pilot's license, using aircraft without airworthiness certification, or conducting unapproved flight missions. Li Chao also addressed recent accidents involving low-altitude tourism during the May Day holiday and emphasized the importance of learning from these incidents and reinforced the idea that effective regulation is a prerequisite for sustainable growth. Now, I know this sounds a bit complicated, if not boring, administrative stuff, but it's very important to understand what's happening in order to understand the low-altitude economy development in China as a whole. In recent government reports, the term low-altitude economy was mentioned for the first time as a key area of future economic development, which always triggers a race by different provinces and municipalities. Like investors in the US who want to always find the next Tesla, the next Nvidia, meaning they want to be early investors in a stock that then grows tenfold and hundredfold. In China, it's regional governments that stand in a similar competition to each other. When the central authorities declare an industry as a key for the future, it means national financial institutions like the state-owned banks, like asset management companies, or also incubator funds, all will prepare billions of RMB to support that industry. And each region wants to have something in this industry, on one hand to profit from such investments, and on the other hand the careers of regional government leaders depends on showing success in areas deemed key by the central government. So with that background, we understand why suddenly a race for the low-altitude economy started in China, be it places like Shanghai with strong eVTOL companies to support, or tourist regions like Sichuan, which start offering tourism flights or parachute sports or new attractions. Each region wants to offer something in the low-altitude economy space and ideally be faster than other regions. This then leads to the risk of some regions offering more than they can regulate or being too liberal in regulation to the point of safety hazards. And for this situation, another national institution, in this case the NDRC, comes in and says, yes, please do compete, but with these guardrails of customer and general safety. For professionals in the industry, this is of course far too superficial the way I explain it right now. They will need to study in great depth which departments are working with the NDRC and which new regulation and concrete steps they are working out. But I hope this high-level explanation helps people to understand the state-driven model of Chinese economic development. With that, let's take another news from the regulatory side next. The Sichuan province issues policy package to boost the low-altitude economy. Sichuan's Development and Reform Commission, the provincial branch of the NDRC mentioned before, along with other departments, issued a policy package titled Measures to Support the Development of the Low-Altitude Economy. The document outlines 16 initiatives, including multi-million yuan investments. Key areas of support include accelerating the construction of general aviation airports, improving low-altitude airspace management, expanding use case scenarios, building public industrial platforms, and encouraging local supply chain integration for low-altitude manufacturers. Sichuan thereby joins many other regions of China which already have policies to promote the low-altitude economy. Sichuan is in central western China and is a famous tourist destination for both Chinese and international tourists, with attractions like Chengdu City, the Great Buddha of Leshan, or the fantastic nature of places like Jiuzhaigou and Huanglong Park. And then to some corporate news. Muyu Aviation's AT1300 cargo eVTOL accepted for certification. On May 15th, Muyu Aviation announced that the Civil Aviation Administration of East China officially accepted its application for a type certificate TC for the AT1300 flying heavy-duty truck hybrid eVTOL, China's first ton-class eVTOL of its kind to be accepted for TC review. This marks a breakthrough in China's heavy-load cargo drone certification field. AVIC delivers 3 locally made autogyros. The Aviation Industry Corporation of China, AVIC, delivered 3 domestically developed J-Row C100 autogyros. This model is China's first full-cabin autogyro to obtain a type certificate from the CAAC. Known as an airborne sports car, the J-Row C100 seats 2, runs on 95 or 98 octane gasoline and is suited for short-haul transport, aerial firefighting and photography. This fills a domestic gap in China's general aviation market and advances the commercial rollout of autogyros in China. Aerofugia signs agreement for 120 AE200 aircraft with BOC Leasing. On May 12th, the Geely car brand's subsidiary for flying cars, Aerofugia, signed a strategic agreement with the Bank of China Aviation Leasing for the intended purchase of 120 AE200 eVTOLs. The deal includes multi-tiered international financial services to support Aerofugia's global expansion. Geely, who also is the owner of car brands like Volvo, Lotus and Polestar, has a global footprint through its car brands and is well positioned for global expansion also for their flying cars. The contract by the state-owned Bank of China subsidiary for aviation leasing, which just in April also announced a deal with the Shanghai-based TCAP TEG for another 100 eVTOLs, shows the fluid nature of economic planning, state-owned economy and private enterprises in China's economic system. DJI drones power smart construction at Dalian Airport project. On May 13th, China State Construction Engineering's 8th Bureau incorporated DJI's Matrix M30 drone system into the Dalian Airport construction. This allows for automated inspections, oblique photogrammetry, where drones capture images at an angle rather than directly overhead to provide more detailed and realistic 3D models of structures, and AI-driven path planning. Creating a model for smart drone-powered infrastructure projects. This showcases a high-tech solution for mega airport projects and demonstrates how low-altitude tech can transform traditional industries. Anhui's Want to Fly secures a multi-million Angel Plus round. Anhui Shangfei Aviation, the English name is really Want to Fly, announced the completion of a multi-million yuan Angel Plus funding round led by Shenzhen's Longhua Capital. Founded in late 2021, Want to Fly's flagship product, the JX1022 8-rotor eVTOL, completed its maiden flight in mid-2023 and entered the certification process in 2024, at first with the unmanned L version. There's also an R version for 4 passengers that is announced, as well as the F version for special purposes like firefighting. Please do leave a comment if you find these updates useful and let me know what you want to hear more about in the future. Thanks for watching.